Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Been too long. Good to see you again. All right, tonight we are going to be diving back into some Nightwish. Tonight's going to be the greatest show on earth. This is going to be the Richard Dawkins version from, I want to say, Wembley. I got an email from Martine, good friend who's been helped guiding me through this journey, and she said that there's two versions of this song out there that are liked by the fans. This is one of them. She actually preferred the Tempere performance herself, but I was told that Richard Dawkins actually appears on this one, and I happen to be a huge fan of the man. He's said some problematic stuff recently that I'm not too happy about, but over his whole life's work, he's done a lot of great things that, it's hard to make a perfect man these days. Anyway, all that being said, I'm excited to get into this. It's a long video. It's 21 minutes long. You know, I'm going to be pausing and talking about stuff during the video, so this thing will probably end up being around 30 minutes long. If that's too long for you, hey, appreciate you stopping by. Don't forget to come on back. But I'm going to enjoy this. She also sent me a lyric breakdown that I'm probably going to read through at the end to make sure I understand fully about the song, because I love doing that kind of stuff. If I'm going to dive into a song, I want to dive all the way in and understand what it's about. So we're going to watch the video, do some reactions during the video, check out the lyrics at the end, and call it a day. So if you're enjoying the content on this channel, hit like down below on this video. It'll really help me out and get the YouTube algorithm spitting out my stuff. And if you want to hang around for the journey, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and you'll be notified anytime I drop some new content. I got a Patreon channel up that I drop everything as soon as I'm done editing it. It goes on to Patreon, so if you want access to early access to content that hasn't been dropped on YouTube yet, you can go over there and join the Patreon. It's only $1 a month to have access to all the unreleased stuff so far, and it helps support the channel. It helps get new equipment, make things look better, make things sound better, all that kind of stuff. So all right, done enough promotional stuff. Let's go ahead and jump into this. This is The Greatest Show on Earth with Richard Dawkins, official live by Nightwish. My apologies. My dog feels like he no longer wants to be in the room, so I'm going to go let him out real quick. I love how they are starting off slow, building up the atmosphere here. Getting some piano, getting some electric guitar coming in. We know it's a long video, so it's, they got to lay down the bass and start telling the story. the piano player, I believe his name is Tuomas. Is that how you pronounce it? If it's different, let me know. I've seen a lot of comments about how he does a lot of the writing for Nightwish, and he's very poetic, very. He doesn't let the industry control the message he's trying to share, and that's pretty cool. I mean, even being able to put out a song this long, no industry would normally let you do that, but he sounds like they're giving him the freedom he needs to stretch his artistic muscle, and that's cool.
After sleeping through 100 million centuries, we have finally opened our eyes on a sumptuous planet, sparkling with color, bountiful with life. Within decades, we must close our eyes again. Isn't it a noble and enlightened way of spending our brief time in the sun? To work at understanding the universe and how we have come to wake up in it.
Careless cold infinity in every vast direction.
so I did hear from Martine in the email she sent me that this song is supposed to be telling the story of the universe from the beginning till now, and a lot of good lyrics in there for that last part. We were talking about the Goldilocks zone. That's obviously the area away from the sun where a planet can have liquid water. It's not too hot to evaporate the water. It's not too cold to freeze it. And it can also have an atmosphere in order to sustain life. So that was cool to hear a mention of the Goldilocks zone. We talked about the carbon. What did it say? Let's see, we're at 749. Tapestry accounts, there it is. From the stellar nursery into a carbon feast. Stellar nursery is some of the Hubble telescope pictures show you stellar nurseries in the sky where there's just particles and clouds of matter floating around before they form into solid masses, those kind of things. So it's cool to visualize what we are being shown here with the beginning of the universe forming and our galaxy forming, our solar system forming here. I think that the sea that they're talking about is the first life on Earth was likely in the seas, and it continued to evolve and change over time before it came out onto the land. And I believe that's the stage of our universe that we're at right now in the song. Especially with all the visuals they have behind them. I saw a fish. I saw some of the different vegetation that grows in the ocean. So the quality of this video is crazy. When you think about watching a live, you think you're going to watch, just someone shot this from the crowd kind of thing. But this is very well put together. This must be the official video that was put together by the company for this particular concert. Looks great. The camera angles are amazing. The sound is great. I'll back up 5 seconds. The visual there showing the close camera down by the ground, I believe that's representing the first creature that left the ocean and came up onto the dry land and began what we now know as life of those of us who don't live in the ocean. So a really important time in the history of mankind, obviously when our ancestor first walked out of the sea and became a land-dwelling animal. Pretty cool camera angle for that. Let me back up 5 seconds. Sorry, I got to go back and see those lyrics again. All right, so Little Lucy of the Afar. Lucy is the oldest currently found living relative to humans. Little shout out to her here. Enter the God of Gaps. A lot of people say that religion is the God of gaps. It's a way to explain things that science has yet to find explanations for. So God of gaps being religion in this case. This having Richard Dawkins references, that doesn't surprise me.
Shiny rocks
right, so there was a cool verse right there that I want to go back and take a look at again. So it talks about right here. So we're talking now. We're in the time of man, the current age, and how mankind rules the earth. Hunger for shiny rocks. Obviously, the diamonds and gems and rubies and gold, those kind of things. Shiny rocks that everyone fights for power over and kills each other over. Nuclear weapons, giant mushroom clouds. All right, so I guess this is saying that we're all going to end up killing ourselves, and when the time comes, rats will be the new species that are populating the earth and thriving. So that's pretty funny there. All right, so I think this reference here to a single grain of sand is goes back to something that I think it's Carl Sagan who talks about there are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on the earth. So I think that's what they're talking about here. The single grain of sand in this particular reference could be talking about the earth itself, but I'll be interested when I read the lyrics and the explanation if I'm right on that. All right, so fun fact, all these nuclear footage, the ones that are done at the Nevada test site in the United States, I've actually been to those locations. I used to work there. I love how the music helps you feel the mood changes between the eras. We started off very peaceful at the beginning of time, before all the planets had formed and so on. And then life began to form under the oceans. We got a little bit more aggressive. And now that we're in the time of man, it got even more aggressive. And then now it's showing all the war and destruction that mankind has caused, reaping the earth, stealing the oil, all that kind of stuff.
Time
Well, there's still 4 minutes left in this, so I think we're going to just keep watching, see what happens. What an epic song.
Thus, from the war of nature, from famine and death, the most exalted object which we are capable of conceiving, namely the production of the higher animals, directly follows. There is grandeur in this view of life, with its several powers originally breathed into a few forms or into one. And that whilst this planet has gone cycling on according to the fixed law of gravity, from so simple a beginning, endless forms most beautiful and most wonderful have been and are being evolved.
Wow. All right, that was great. Very cool. All right, so I'm going to share something real quick here with you guys. When Martine told me what this song was about and that Richard was in it, I ran upstairs and got this. This is my copy of The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. And there's his signature from when I met him. He came to the States. He had a stroke a few years back, and he was touring the States, doing some speaking engagements, meeting with groups and answering questions from the crowd and so on. And I got a chance to meet with him and got him to sign my copy of The God Delusion. It was pretty cool. Like I say, there's a lot of controversy around Richard. He's said some things here recently that have rubbed people the wrong way, and no one's going to live a perfect life, but he's still a hero of mine. He's done many things for science and represented science as a science educator very well. So I'm not going to cancel the man just because he's got a few bad ideas here and later in his life, and he's not afraid to speak about it. So appreciate the recommendation, Martine. I'm going to read the lyrics and the explanation here at the end of the video. For those of you who don't want to sit around and listen to that, I appreciate you stopping by, and don't forget to come on back. If you like the video, hit me a like and hit subscribe if you want to see more content. But without further ado, we're going to jump over here and check out the lyrics that were sent to be by Martine, and we're going to jump through this. This song paints a musical picture of the history of the universe, the story of life, our common human journey, and the scientific quest for knowledge. It's divided into 5 chapters. The lyrics are in black, and the lyrical breakdown is in red. Chapter 1 is 4.6. Arcane horizon, the first sunrise on a pristine Gaia, opus perfectum, somewhere there, us sleeping. And then Dawkins says, after sleeping through 100 million centuries, we finally opened our eyes on a sumptuous planet, sparkling with color, bountiful with life, with decades. We must close our eyes again. Isn't it a noble and enlightened way to spend our brief time in the sun, to work at understanding the universe and how we have come to wake up in it? So, beautiful picture painted there. The beginning of time, the planets form, we have the first sunrise, life begins on Earth, and our ancestors begin trying to figure out why we're here, how we got here, and what everything around us is and how it works, all that kind of stuff. So approximately 4.6 billion years ago, the solar system was a cloud of dust and gas known as the solar nebula. Gravity collapsed the material in on itself and began to spin, forming a sun at the center of the nebula. This period is commonly known as the Arcane period, meaning ancient. This first section represents the mystery of what was preceding the mystery of what preceding the Big Bang. Then there's a boom of a explosion, the Big Bang. Then one collision after another, great celestial bodies are forming. The universe grows larger and more collisions form, stars, planets. Life still sleeps. It has not yet come alive. Chapter 2, Life. Cosmic law of gravity pulled the newborns around a fire. Careless cold infinity in every vast direction. Lonely farer of Goldilocks zone. She has a tale to tell. From the stellar nursery to the carbon feast. Enter Luca. The tapestry of chemistry. There's a writing in the garden, leading us to the mother of all. We are one, we are universe, forebears of what will be, scions of the Devonian sea, aeons past, writing the tale of us all. A day-to-day new opening for the greatest show on earth. Ions channels welcoming the outside world to the stuff of stars, bedding the trees of biological holy entire life, the tapestry of chemistry. There's a writing in the garden leading us to the mother of all. We are here to care for the garden, the wonder of birth, of every form most beautiful, every form most beautiful. So this chapter is about the process that led to the formation of the earth and the environment in which life could develop. The newborns of life find themselves in a warm fire of the sun as they fly through the careless cold infinity of space. In the Goldilocks zone of the solar system, the Earth promises to tell the very tale that would feature life. Enter Luca. Luca is an acronym for the last universal common ancestor. Okay, I didn't know that. Did not know that. Last universal common ancestor. And the parent of all living organisms on Earth today. So I guess that would be... if you had a family tree, that would be the very first part that split into different living organisms and created all the vast species that we have here on Earth today. So Luca, last universal common ancestor. That's cool. The tapestry of chemistry is the chemical writing mechanism of DNA that weaves life into ever more complex organisms, allowing evolution to run its program. The Devonian period was that which saw the first instance of organisms diversifying rapidly to form a variety of new species. It reminds us of our common origin shared with all life on Earth. The tribal drums sound of wilderness, followed by the growls, panting, and roar, illustrates the ceaseless will to prevail in dangerous surroundings. So yeah, times were crazy. Lots of species were evolving, and there was always got to be one apex predator. All right, Chapter 3, The Toolmaker. It's got to be talking about us, right? After 1 billion years, the show is still here. Not a single one of our fathers died young. The handy travelers out of Africa, little Lucy of afar, gave birth to fantasy, to idolatry, to self-destructive weaponry, to enter the god of the gaps, deep within the past, atavistic dread of the hunted. Enter Ionia, the cradle of thought, the architecture of understanding, the human lust to feel so exceptional, to rule the earth, hunger for shiny rocks, the giant mushroom cloud, the will to do just as you'd be done by. Enter history, the grand finale. Enter rat kind. Chorus 2 times 3 says, the man who took his time in the sun had a dream to understand a single grain of sand. He gave birth to poetry, but one day it'll cease to be. Greet the last light of the library. We were here, we were here. This chapter marks the advent of humanity on Earth. All our mothers and fathers managed to survive long enough to bear the next generation. All in an uninterrupted chain from Luca, the skeleton of Lucy, named after the song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds by the Beatles. Really? I had no clue that's where that came from. Was found in an isolated spot in the Afar region of Ethiopia. Lucy became known as humanity's common mother. The latter part of this section tracks the rise and fall of humanity. Humanity's ambitions, curiosity, knowledge are characterized as both something to admire and as something vain and destructive, driven by human lust to feel so exceptional. Employing fantasy to fill its knowledge gaps by explaining natural phenomena with the actions of a powerful creator. Enter history, the grand finale. Enter rat kind. Rat kind comes from Richard Dawkins' book, The Ancestor's Tale. Dawkins imagines a post-apocalyptic world in which the rodents feast on the remains of humanity. As a consequence of natural selection, the rats diverge into the new carnivorous and herbivorous species, and perhaps eventually a species of rodent with whose intellectual rivals that of humankind, rat kind. A brief lesson in the evolution of music follows. The harpsichord plays. I didn't catch this part. So a harpsichord plays, followed by a Gregorian chant in Dies Irae, Mozart. Bach's minuet in G major, followed by his famous fugue in D minor, followed by Metallica's Enter Sandman, finally ending in rap and hip-hops and 90s dance music. Oh, that's cool. I missed that in the song. So the evolution of music was incorporated there as well. That's awesome. We were here is our need to be remembered, to make a difference, to live a life worth living, to defy death. Last chapter, The Understanding. Nope, not last chapter. The Understanding. This is all spoken by Dawkins. We're going to die, and that makes us the lucky ones. Most people are never going to die because they were never going to be born. The potential of those who could have been here in my place, but who will in fact never see the light of day, outnumbers the sands grains of the Sahara. Certainly those unborn ghosts include greater poets than Keats, scientists greater than Newton. We know this because the set of possibilities people allowed by our DNA is so massively exceeds the set of actual people. In the teeth of those stupefying odds, it's you and I, in our own ordinariness, that are here. We are the privileged few who won the lottery of birth against all odds. How dare we whine about our inevitable return to that prior state from which the vast majority have never stirred. Wow. I love Dawkins, man. He's got a way of words. We are the lucky ones. Of all the opportunities for life to exist, those of us here watching this video, recording this video, we're the lucky ones who defied all the odds and were able to live on this earth. So cool. This chapter features a monologue from Dawkins. It reminds us of the remarkable chances of our existence, the lottery of birth. reasserting our need to appreciate and make the most of our opportunities. Yes. Last chapter, Act 5, The Sea-Worn Driftwood. There's a grandeur in this view of life with its several powers, having been originally breathed into a few forms or into one. And that whilst this planet has gone cycling on according to the fixed law of gravity, from so simple a beginning, endless forms, the most beautiful and most wonderful, have been and are being evolved. Some primal animals, sounds, and the wash of waves upon the shore tell us that the earth and the evolution of life on earth will continue for long after humankind. The closing thoughts spoken by Dawkins are from The Origin of the Species by Charles Darwin. Awesome. Martine, thanks for providing this to me. This was very helpful. I think I got a lot of that stuff right when I was guessing during the song. So, yeah, hold on. Let me pat myself on the back. But yeah, very cool. This is a very long reaction video, so I appreciate those of you who've stuck around this long. I really like this song. It's cool to see it played out the way it is. And I don't think this would have been as impactful if it was a short song, because you really have to use something long to talk about the cycle of the universe. I mean, obviously you don't want to go 10 hours long, but I think 20 minutes was a good long time to be able to cover these things and show that the vastness of the time that's behind us and in front of us. If you think about, the lifespan of humans is very short, between 70 and 90 years, depending on your health, that kind of stuff. And it's such a small fraction of the time itself. And, sorry to say, but we're all very insignificant, and we're just here for a very short period of time. So live your life every day, find out the things that you love to do and do them as much as you can, as long as they're not hurting other people. And the things you hate to do, do that as little as possible. So just try and be happy every day and enjoy the ride on this rock floating through the universe until it's the next person's turn. So, hey, cool words to live by. Hey, if you like this video, give me a like down below. It'll make me happy. It'll, help YouTube spread my video around. And if you want to stay around for the journey and see some more of my content, go ahead and hit that big red subscribe button and hit the notification bell, and YouTube will let you know anytime I drop some new content. If you're not already a member of my Patreon, go ahead and check that out. Anytime I record any video, as soon as it gets edited, it gets put up on Patreon, regardless of its release date. And I'm working on getting up to about 2 to 3 weeks ahead of YouTube right now. So if you go over there and join my Patreon, you'll be able to see all the content as soon as it's finished in editing and have exclusive control of what gets seen on this channel. I'm new. I've only got about 3,000 subscribers so far, but it's been a fun ride to this point, and I'm just going to keep on doing these videos as long as you guys are there to watch them. So this one's creeping up on 40 minutes long, a little more. So I guess it's time to shut this one off. I don't think anyone's going to watch this far into the video. So if you watched this far into the video and you want to get a shout out, comment down in the comment section. Let's see, what should we put in there? Comment in the comment section the word octopus. If you put the word octopus in the comment section, I'll know that you made it all the way to the end of the video. And to you, I appreciate it, because this was a long one. So let's go ahead and shut it down now. Appreciate everybody for stopping by, and don't forget to come on back.